Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Welcome, average Jocks fans. This episode is another fun one. We're doing a fucking friends episode. I don't know if I'd call any of these guys my friends, but so we're gonna welcome Adam's less attractive older brother, Josh. Welcome to the show.
How's it going?
That's it. Thanks. And then we're gonna welcome back the. One sec. I was using a fucking thing. The teller to my pen Gillette. He's back. Justin Gray. Welcome back, Justin.
Glad to be back, Joel.
I'm sure you are. All right. So we'll hop right into it. We've asked people to send us in questions over the last few days. Is that a dad's root beer? What are you drinking?
It's beer, but it's gluten-free beer, so I don't know if you can count it as beer.
Well, is there alcohol in it?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, that's all that matters. The gluten, I don't care about the gluten. Oh, excuse me. I am recently gluten-free, and I had gluten tonight, so I'm having a bit of the burps.
You're gassy.
Pardon?
You're gassy.
Yeah, I'm a little gassy.
Yeah.
Both ends. Not as bad. This guy ripped a fucking fart earlier, and we're sitting on the same couch. The love seat got warm, and it just fucking reeked. Anyways,
I mean, can you call this the casting couch or what?
it's casting couch.
Oh, another.
Some questionable stuff goes on this couch. Always fully dressed, though. All right, so we'll get into some of the questions that were sent in. All hockey-related questions.
I didn't think we were a hockey podcast after we talked to Tommy Chong.
Yeah, well,
If we could have a couple of Masters questions, bud, come on.
I don't golf. I don't own golf clubs.
I mean, is John Rahm the best golf player there is right now, or what?
I don't know who that is.
I mean, he's definitely top two. I mean, Scheffler is pretty solid, but I agree. Like, he crushed it, man. He was.
I don't know. I'm really into the Paralympic golf.
Okay.
I have a good buddy named Jason Swerdfigger who's one of the top para golfers in Canada.
Okay.
And the most fascinating motherfucker I've ever seen in my life is this guy that he played with named Jimmy Sticks. No fucking legs. The guy has 2 Oscar Pistorius skis going on and just slamming the ball. Anyways, I'm just very impressed with Jimmy Sticks. Pretty sure he died, though, so R.I.P. Jimmy. I hope that's his name, too. I just know they called him Sticks at the end. I'm thinking it's Jimmy.
Okay.
You okay?
Dude, you're saying the randomest shit right now.
No, I'm just saying. That's my favorite golfer, Jimmy Sticks.
Yeah, for sure.
You look him up if you have time. Jimmy Sticks.
And apparently he's a bitch.
I'll
show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll get into the questions now. Where the fuck was this? Here we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go here. Or what?
No. We're good.
You got it?
Yeah. All right. So the first one was sent in by Cam B, and I think Sue L just copy pasted Cam B's question and then posted it again.
Yeah. I mean,
So the question is:
Original.
do you think the Sens can make the playoffs next year if they can fix their goaltending problems? Do we have a volunteer to go first, or do I just continue with my verbal diarrhea?
I mean, I think they can make the playoffs, maybe with a new goalie. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think there's still a few missing links there. I mean, you get Chikrin, he gets hurt. Shabbat goes down while
Yeah,
you're.
but they're still under contract.
No, but I'm just saying. Like, is Chikrin going to be exactly what he was in Arizona? Play a couple games, get hurt.
Hope not. Josh, it looks like you had something to interject. By the way, Josh is a coach for Ontario Hockey Academy, so we're getting a kind of a coach's perspective on this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they could have made it this year, right? What they lose their starting goalie and their backup, and then at one point we're using their 3, and then some guy from the ECHL or whatever, the East Coast League, and who played well enough to win them games. Just a couple they didn't, right? I mean, they don't have like there's not a lot of top 6 depth, but like
I would disagree with that. You have what? Josh Norris, Stutzel. It doesn't really matter who the other winger is. Those 2 guys are sick.
Yeah.
Claude Giroux, Brady Tkachuk,
okay,
Alex DeBrincat. That's a solid top 6.
yeah, for sure. For sure. Now, again, if one of those guys gets hurt, you're looking for somebody from the bottom to take over for those guys. I don't know how healthy their top 6 have been. I don't know if goaltending has been their only issue. I really haven't. I've been to like 3 Ottawa games this year, and I could probably name 5 guys, just.
And one of them's probably Daniel Alfredson.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I did look up to the rafters and saw his jersey is retired. So, yes, one of those guys was Alfredson. But, I mean, they could have made it this year. Could they make it next year? Absolutely. And who's on the market for goaltending? I mean, if nobody's on the market, do you stick with what you have and just try and battle? I mean, that bottom position was up for grabs up until, a week ago for them? So they could have easily made it next year as much as they could have this year, I guess is my answer, really.
JG?
I'd 100% make the playoffs next year.
100%. Wow, that is...
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Man, their
Well,
team,
he
their team
was
is
right.
young, and
In all fairness,
look what they've shown this year, despite
to our
everything.
first ever episode, Justin called Seattle making the playoffs, and I tore him a new fucking asshole.
Listen, didn't one of our guests say the same things that I was crazy? Who was it?
I don't know. I don't remember. Honestly, as soon as I'm done one, I forget, and it's a new day.
Like
One of our first 2. Maybe it was Cizikas. Might have been Cizikas.
He was our first guest. Yeah.
Might have been him. Said I was crazy. Said not a chance.
Well, you proved us both wrong. But Justin did finish, was it second last or third last in our fantasy hockey?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. It's a shame.
It's a damn shame, yeah.
All right. I guess I'm batting cleanup. Listen, the Sens, I think, have the depth. And I think it would be stupid for them to go and get a goaltender, a young goaltender, considering they have Kevin Mandolese and Mad Sogar, showing that they can start to play at this level. If you're looking for an upgrade anywhere, it's Anton Forsberg, but he's also showed he's been a capable 1B when needed, whenever Cam Talbot's been hurt. Cam Talbot's made it clear he's not coming back. Do you rock Mad Sogard or Kevin Mandolese and Anton Forsberg? You possibly could. I think they have the depth up front. They have the defense now. But I think the issue isn't what's wrong with the Ottawa Senators. The issue is they have to beat Boston, Tampa, Toronto to be in the top 3. So now you're relying in just right now, just the window of all 3 of those teams. That's not happening. You're looking for a wild card in a 1 or 2. I mean, we're going to find out tonight whether it's the Islanders or Pittsburgh getting in, but the Islanders are moving up. The Penguins, their door is kind of closing. The Caps door kind of closing, but there's also the Florida Panthers in there. There's a lot of good teams that are still in that contention. Buffalo's there too. To me, it isn't so much what the Sens are doing wrong as it is the East is so goddamn strong. If they were in the West right now, I think, they're in the playoffs. It's a lock.
Yeah.
But the East is just a beast. You could probably, if you just went back to, I don't know what year they stopped doing this, but where it was 1 to 16 in the league, didn't matter divisions, you would have easily 3/4 Eastern Conference in those playoffs.
Wouldn't that be wild?
It would be wild.
It'd be insane.
But I
Yeah.
mean, most deserving so.
Yeah, I mean, if you have if you're, like you said, again, Ottawa's position, you're so far behind, but you have a lot of points. Well, a team in the other division can have the same amount of points as you, and they're fucking at the top of the
Well,
division.
that was the thing. I think it's out west actually, and don't quote me which one was which, but like the third team had the same amount of points as the second wild card team.
That's crazy.
But just because their division
Yeah.
is so goddamn weak,
Mm.
they're in the playoffs. So I don't know. To me, it needs to go back to at least the 1 versus 8 for Ottawa to have a shot.
Yeah.
Gary Bettman has never admitted in his career that he's been wrong on anything or anything has ever failed. This playoff format is a big fail, and it hurts a
Massive.
lot of teams.
Massive.
I agree.
So, follow-up question to that one, sticking with the Ottawa goaltending situation, Adam W. Wants to know if there's a possible link, or if you guys think it's realistic, that the Philadelphia Flyers, who are looking for a trade partner because Carter Hart wants out, finds one in the Ottawa Senators. Laddie, you want to go? Or Laddie Jr., do you want to go first?
Like in my opinion, I don't think Carter Hart would be a good fit there. I think he's used parts. In my opinion, I know he's still, man, he's young. I get it. He's still got a lot in the tank, but like, man, he's been battered and beaten in Philadelphia. Like, it's just, I don't know. I've always thought to myself, goalies go to die in Philadelphia. A lot of good goalies have gone there and spent a year or two and get battered. But I just don't think Carter Hart's a fit. I think he could fit somewhere else. He could be great, but I think Ottawa should completely avoid that situation, in my opinion.
Laddie Sr.
I mean, I agree partially. I think that it's not the right fit for him. Plus, what would Ottawa have to give? You're thinking picks. You're thinking maybe one of your top 6 forwards or your top 4D. Do you want to give up one of those pieces for a guy that you like? Again, I don't know much about Hart and his injury history, but do you want to give up one of your pieces moving forward offensively for a guy that you could replace with, like you said, Sogard or whoever else? I mean, there might be a cheaper option than Hart. Like, you'd have to go in and make that deal and say, this guy's playing 65 games, 60 to 65 games easy, and then pull the trigger. And if you're comfortable with that, then yeah. But I've never been up for a Vezina or whatever it is, right? Like, I've never heard of this guy. I've heard of this guy, but I haven't heard of this guy being the guy. And if Ottawa wants to go and make that deal, don't go make that deal for something you can replace in the intricate. You can find cheaper options, in my opinion, because again, Adam said he's young. It's not gonna be a 7th round draft pick, and we're gonna get Hart. That's not what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a scorer or a defender, or it's gonna be a high draft pick. Like, you're not just gonna go and grab him for nothing. So you'd have to pull that trigger knowing that, this guy's gonna give us 55, 60 games, and we're comfortable with that, which I agree with what you said earlier, Joe. I think that you could get your other goalies to play 1As and some 1Bs, and then if somebody gets hurt, you've got a 2A that can come in and play 11 games and go 6-5. That's all you'd want, right? So I don't think it's the right fit. I don't think that it's like that. Don't press the panic button on the back end. I've been to a few Sens games. Goaltending hasn't been the issue. I know Talbot's been or is it Talbot or Murray, whoever is there now, has been getting lit up like last week or 2 weeks ago. But I mean, like, I wouldn't press the panic button just yet. Like, on the back end, it's you could find cheaper options. I think
so
if you want to keep.
He's already gone. He's already said he doesn't want to re-sign in Ottawa. He refused.
Oh, he's gone. Okay.
Extension, and he's a free agent at the end of the year.
Okay. So they would just have to sign him then. Okay.
All right, JG, thoughts? Carter Hart to Ottawa fit?
It depends. I mean, it depends what the price is, for sure. I mean,
and you're a big Carter Hart fan.
What?
You're a big Carter Hart fan.
Man, he's been inconsistent. He's not the player that we all expected him to be. He hasn't proven, even with a poor team in front of him, he hasn't performed well. So in Ottawa Senators' point of view, I mean, they're not in a win now situation. They've got time. Their guys are still developing. There's no rush to go out and find a goaltender right now.
So I guess I mean, I have just having talked, I've thought of a trade that I think works well for both teams. And I'll start with that before I go into why I think it would be a smart move for Ottawa and a smart move for Philly. So if I was the Philadelphia Flyers, one area they're really lacking is defense. Your best defense right now is Ivan Provorov, which is a great defenseman. Comes with some controversy, but still a good defenseman. And then it's Rasmus Ristolainen, which is a huge gap in between those two guys. Yeah. Neither of them, I mean, Ivan Provorov's a little more offensive than Rasmus Ristolainen, but you're looking for a young quarterback for your power play. You had one in Shane Gostisbehere, you traded him. Mm-hmm. If you're giving up a young goaltender, you want to make sure you have a young goaltender coming back. So their two area needs, in my opinion, are defensive depth and young goaltending if you're giving up a young goaltender. Where is Ottawa's surplus right now? On the back end. They have Chychrun and they have Shabbat. Those are your two quarterbacks on the power play. Almost every power play in the NHL now has 4 forwards, 1 D. Those are your two boys playing the power play. They have a guy that they got, a young prospect, for Mark Stone from Vegas, and that's Eric Brandstrom. Brandstrom has taken the back seat to Shabbat. He's taken the back seat since Chychrun's come back. He's expandable. You move Brandstrom in your choice, or I guess maybe Philly's choice of either Mad Sogard or Kevin Mandolese, who are both in their very early 20s that are younger than Carter Hart. You flip those two and maybe a mid-round pick for Carter Hart. I think that gets the deal done. Ottawa has the cap space for it. And I think that shores up a little bit more Ottawa's goaltending with Forsberg Hart than it would be Forsberg Mandolese or Forsberg Sogard. And that maybe gives them a little more edge for the playoffs. But like I said, the East is so competitive. And like Josh mentioned, is one piece going to bring these guys ahead of Toronto, ahead of Boston, ahead of Tampa, ahead of, the Islanders, ahead of, Buffalo? Mm-hmm. I don't think so, but it would be an improvement. I guess it just depends how realistic, Danny Briere is as GM of Philly. And, so far, good questions. It's a lot of heavy Sens questions. Yeah, do we want to just hammer out the Sens and then move on?
Yeah, as quick as possible.
Okay. Here's our next one. Cam B's second question is, what is a reasonable contract extension for DeBrincat? And do you think he'll sign with Ottawa? I guess I'll start this one, just because I don't know how long my thoughts will stay in my head. Alex DeBrincat is an RFA. He is signing in Ottawa. Pierre Dorion has already said that he's going to qualify him at 1 year, $9 million. So he's at least with them for next season. Alex DeBrincat came in just late of Chicago's window of going for the Cup. He's young. He's American. He wants to win. What's going to keep him in Ottawa? Brady Tkachuk, Tim Stützle, Claude Giroux, Josh Norris, Shabbat, and Jacob Chychrun. That's enough to keep him there. Mm-hmm. They need to prove that they are taking a step forward next season, whatever those moves are. So he doesn't have a choice. He's going back to Ottawa, 1 year, $9 million. Let's just say they do better, whether they make a wild card spot or they're just out of the playoffs again, and they can sell the idea that we're taking that next step next year. I think him re-signing, but I don't think it's going to be like an 8-year max deal. I think it might be a shorter deal at like 8, or a re-up at 9 or 9.5 for maybe like 4 years.
Bananas.
I just can't see them going 8 years Tkachuk, 8 years Shabbat, 8 years Stützle, locking themselves up again, another $9-10 million player at another 8-year term. I just think it doesn't make sense. And anybody that's signing an 8-year term wants a full no move. It just doesn't make sense to give a fourth young player that kind of power. We can see it didn't work out with Toronto. They're in that case right now where they're going to have to trade somebody. Vladdy?
I mean, yeah, he's gonna get the $9 million. I mean, guy's a great hockey player. I mean, again, but if he comes out and if he has a great season, if he, let's say, I don't know how many points he has this year, or what, 60 in a 60.
I checked today. He's got like 28 goals.
Okay, so 28 goals. So let's say he's got 30 assists. So whatever, 60 points. Let's say this year.
Yeah.
What if he comes out next year and gets you fucking 85 points again? Let's say they make a playoff spot. Is he gonna ask for more than 9?
Oh, 100%. But that's the
100%,
thing.
he will. 100%.
He's guaranteed $9 million this year.
Yeah.
He's taking his 9. He's not going to sign
No.
the extension this year, and he's going to hope he puts up a fuck ton of points
And then
so he can ask for the world.
Because Besser got what, 8.5?
Was it that much?
I'm pretty sure he got 8.5.
Well, dude, Nurse is getting like 10.5. So
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can get anything in the league these days,
Right.
honestly. So like, if he's gonna get 9 on a qualifying offer, and he goes out and put, like you said, Laddie, he puts up 80 points, and Ottawa makes a run, and he's 80 points. Well, he had a significant role in getting them there. So it's like you could ask for 11 because teams are going to be stupid enough to give it to him. And
so Brock
Besser's not
Besser,
worth it. I'm just saying.
Brock Besser is 3 years at 6.65.
Okay. No, who got? Am I thinking of the fucking wrong guy? Who got fucking traded to Bo Horvat? My bad, wrong guy.
Yeah.
So he got traded to Florida and signed the big contract, right?
Yeah. No, the Islanders, and then signed it.
Islanders.
My bad.
Yeah.
So again, this is why I shouldn't smoke before we have a podcast. But again, he got all that. He got 8.5, and he hasn't had over a 62-point season since he started. So like, if that's gonna be the bar, like what's DeBrincat gonna ask for? Like, I mean, he'd be a great fit to the team. I think he's proved that he wants to be there, and like, I mean, Chicago right now, it's anywhere from an upgrade. So
fair enough. Laddie Senior, anything you want to add?
I mean, like you're sure that if his RFA, like he'll get 9, like that's
his qualifying offer is $9 million. Yeah.
I mean, he'll be crazy not to sign that, and if he signs an extension,
well, it's not his choice, right? It's Dorian's.
Yeah, I just don't.
And Dorian has already said that he's qualifying him. Yeah. So regardless, like let's say they were to work out a contract by some miracle, which I don't see.
Yeah.
He is in Ottawa 1 more year at $9 million guaranteed.
And that's like a $2.8 million raise from what he's getting now. And I'm not saying, like, I mean, what's Marner and them getting? Like just over 11 or something like that?
Marner, I think, is 10.
Yeah.
Marner is 10. I think Matthews might be, is he 11 or 12, Justin?
I want to say it's 11.
I'll look it up. Justin, do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, I think I agree with you, Joel. I think it'll be a shorter term and a little bit less money, just basically to get them to the cup. It'll be like it's not going to be like a long term. Like, he's not a franchise player. He's just gonna help them win, and that's basically it,
Yeah.
So and then whatever happens after that happens.
Matthews is 1.6. Or sorry, 11.6.
Damn, it's a deal.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's a fucking steal. 1.6.
I keep trying to type Marner and it's auto-correcting to Marker. Yes. And Marner's making 10.9.
So pretty much same money.
And those are franchise guys, man. Jabrinket's not a franchise guy. You go to the games, like you would know Drake Batherson before you would know DeBrincat. Like, no offense, but like, So he signs his $9 million. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot. Like I say, he'll sign it, but to move on after that, that's a lot of money for a guy who is not going to overthrow Kachuk for like that guy's a fan favorite on and off.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you keep him next year for sure, and then it's just hopefully he takes a bit of a discount and says, hey, let's I like what's going on here. Maybe I'll take a little bit less. I won't go to the full 10 because I mean, if he puts up 85, what team would not throw a bit of money at him?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you like the deal. He's part of the moving forward to a certain extent. Like you're not just gonna. You already said you've given 3 max deals already to those guys, Kachuk, Stutzel, and Shabbat. So do you want to really handcuff yourself with another one? Because I mean, look at Florida's in a tough spot in a couple of years, man. Like,
yeah. And I mean, like Chicago's had like, Kirby Doc too was in Chicago, left, but goes to Montreal. He's loving it in Montreal. So like, maybe since when they were in Chicago, they were getting that franchise player like light because Kane's gone now. Hayes is done, and that he leaves, goes to Ottawa, and like Josh said, they have their star players. They got Kachuk, they got all the big names. So now he could fucking fit in there, play well. Doesn't have to worry about, being on the outside of the fucking Scotiabank place, whatever the hell that fucking place is called.
It's Canadian Tire Center now. CTC.
I still call it the Corral Center.
So we have one half sentence question left, and it is, and I thought about how I wanted to kind of edit this question because it's, would you rather have Tim Stützle or Austin Matthews on your team? So I'm going to say this as if we are like franchise, like fantasy draft style.
Yeah.
Right? And this question is from Seb A. So if you were like, pretend you're the 33rd team in the NHL and there's no protection.
Who are you taking?
And you're going Timmy Stu or Matthews, and they're at their current cap rate, by the way. So Timmy Stu would be 8.5, and Matthews would be 11.5, both on 8-year deals. We'll go opposite order this time. Justin, Matthews or Timmy Stu, and why?
Man, I'd have to go Matthews. Nothing against Stutz. I think he's going to be a great player, but if you're looking at right now, Matthews has proven he's more consistent. I mean, he scored 60 goals before. Maybe Stützle can do that, but we don't know. We know Matthews can do that. We know he's going to put up numbers. You know he's playing very well defensively. All around. I mean, how can you pass on Matthews ever?
Laddie Senior.
As much as it like those are the two worst the teams I hate the most besides the Baltimore Ravens, those two teams. Okay, I'd have to say Stützle, but again, it'd have to be like what you're looking for, right? I mean, Matthews is an absolute stud offensively. I've seen Stützle play, man. That guy creates so much. Now, I'm not saying Matthews doesn't, but I'm saying like I've seen that guy just deke out 3 guys in a phone booth, like and like he is legit. Now, is he 60 goal legit? Not saying that. All I'm saying is that he is a guy, like he's a horse, man. Like seeing him live, again, I've never watched Matthews live, but watching Stützle live this year, a couple of games, man, he creates so much, like so much. He is and the cap, obviously it's a little bit cheaper, so okay, you go that route. Okay, I'll take Stützle, but I'm just gonna go Stützle just because, like, I'm not saying Matthews doesn't bring more than the offense, but man, that Stützle is exciting to watch, and there's massive upside there, like big time.
Well, I was just
Laddie Jr.
I was checking my phone to see how many points Stützle had. Is it Stützle?
I don't know. I'm saying Stützle. I don't see an A in there.
Yeah.
People are calling Stützle a lot.
Is it Strudel? Like what's
No.
It's not
Have your
Strudel?
German fans like correct you type thing, because I don't know how to say it.
Stützle.
Yeah.
Anyways, so he had 88 points this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I'm going to go with Stützle as well. I think nothing against Matthews, but not saying Matthews is not good, but I think if he doesn't have Marner and he doesn't have Nylander, I'm not saying he's not going to score those 60 goals. I think he can be as good as he can with anybody. Those guys help out a lot. I think a lot more than like there's to the eye can see. So I think I'm just going to go Timmy Stütz. You can build a team around him again. You can build a team around Matthews, but I don't know.
So I'm going Timmy Stu, but for a reason that neither of you have mentioned right now. He looks like he wants to play hockey. He looks like he loves the game. He's having fun. And I don't know about you guys, any locker room that I've been in at any level and at any sport, if you have somebody that looks disengaged and looks like they're more interested in hanging out with Justin Bieber than they are to be at the rink, you're probably not, your head's not in the right space. Am I saying that's why they haven't gotten out of the first round since he's been on the team? No, it's not what I'm saying. Think that if you want. I'm leaving that open to interpretation.
I think that.
But there's something obviously going on in that locker room that they can't mentally get over that hump. Again, don't know what it is. Not putting the blame on Austin Matthews, but Timmy Stützle looks like he's having fun. He obviously loves the game. There's videos of stuff that he's doing out in the community, and him and Brady Tkachuk and Josh Norris.
I think they'll live together, don't they?
I think they do. I just think the whole young, fun atmosphere in Ottawa is going to pay off at some point. The other thing is Austin Matthews is a few years older than him and at a higher cap rate. And I mean, I know, Josh, you mentioned the salary, but, $3 extra million, almost $4 million. And then just a few years, like Tim Stützle's only like 20 years old.
Yeah.
And he's put up a 40-goal season.
Unreal.
Like, I don't know. And to me, again, don't want to knock anybody because they're in the NHL for a reason. But Josh Norris, who Timmy Stützle's playing with, isn't, Mitch Marner or William Nylander or John Tavares.
Johnny too.
Yeah, that's just my argument. If Tim Stützle, had one of those guys, is he putting up 60 goals? Maybe. Is he putting up 50? Maybe. Is he getting 40? Maybe. But I'm just saying, I just think the ceiling for potential is higher for Stützle. And I think Austin Matthews is already tired of the limelight, the questions, I think once his contract's up in Toronto, he's going to go retire in the somewhere, Kings, Ducks, Coyotes, Knights. He's just going to take money and go play somewhere hot. So that wraps up the Sens
segment, was
Thank
way
God.
too long.
Way too long.
Figure it out, guys. As soon as I saw the comments coming, I just seen Cam, and
too many Sens fans watching.
Mumsy chimes in, fucking just throwing out questions.
So
I saw Mumsy chime in there with a Sens question.
Yeah.
We'll go with we'll continue with the Leafs, and that way we get them out of the way as well. A two-part Leaf question, and that's the only other Leafs question there is. This one's from Scott L. If Curtis Joseph had been forced to step in as the E-Bug the other night when Samsonov went down, because he was the E-Bug, do you think he would have embarrassed himself out there, and would it have been worth him going in? Who wants to start? I have my answer.
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
too.
so I'll just go. Curtis Joseph going in would have been nothing more than entertainment purposes. Toronto has already locked in their spot. They know they're not going up. They're not going down. They've locked in home ice already. I would have put him in just for the crowd. Why not? How fired up would guys have been if Curtis Joseph... And not only that, I have my signed David Ayres
just for the just for the Leaf fans
photo.
They see this night. See this in their nightmares.
How much merch could you have sold, like Curtis Joseph merch, for that comeback? I don't know. Just marketing probably wanted him to go in. You don't agree to be an E-Bug if you don't want the opportunity to maybe go in.
Yeah.
So he obviously wanted to go in. I don't know. I don't think it would have hurt. Would he have embarrassed himself? I mean, I hope he's stretched. He's probably what, mid-50s,
No way.
late 50s. I mean, it wouldn't have been great, but I mean, what? It was 7-1 Leafs, right?
Against the Habbies?
Was that not when Samsonov got hurt? Was this no?
No, it was no, it wasn't against the Habs. No, it was against
No, it was before that.
yeah, I think it was the weekend before that, I think, or during the week or something like that.
Well, whatever. You already clinched. I would have did it. I would have dressed him.
Curtis Joseph is 55 years old.
55. Yager's still playing. He's older
He
than
would have been
that.
fine, man. He would have been fine. It's like riding a bike, man. His style wouldn't have changed. Now, I mean, you're probably not hoping that anybody gets a point blank shot because, you know, that style back then was like that goaltending style was not great, or it's different now. But
Yeah.
I mean, he probably still plays pickup, so it's not. I mean, like you say, he probably would have had to have stretched. Now, could you have sold those McDonald's goalie helmets that they had back in the day? Like the Leafs had Cujo, right? So I mean,
yeah.
Like merch wise, you would have been laughing. Like the Leaf jerseys for Cujo, you wouldn't have been able to keep him on the shelf, especially if he makes a couple of saves. I mean,
A couple of kick saves.
I watched him as a kid.
Kick
I
save,
loved it.
takes out the
It would have
ref.
been hilarious.
Goes like that. Ref's not ready for
Yeah.
it. Gets the puck in the dome.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Double
sure.
stack. Double stack.
Justin?
I mean, it would definitely made a good story. Fans would have loved it. The team, I mean, a lot of those players just saying that they played in front of Cujo would have been amazing for them, right? But I think he probably would have embarrassed himself. I mean, the game has changed a lot since he played. He probably would have let it a couple weak goals, but again, nobody would have cared at that point. It would have been just like you said, pure entertainment.
Yeah.
So part 2 of this question, still from Scott, is where does Cujo rank on your best of all time goaltenders? I'm going to narrow this down just because, I mean, we can do top 10, top 5.
Fuck. Yeah.
We'll do top 3, and I'll be quick. Even if we're doing favorite or best of all time, he's not in my top 3.
No, I mean, no.
No, anybody?
No, like
all right.
I don't think he makes
We'll
top 10.
move on
yeah.
real fucking quick. I didn't think it was going to be a long follow-up question, but
I mean,
There's no real accomplishments.
he was an above average goaltender.
I mean, he's got the most playoff wins without a cup.
That's a great stat
that
to
fits
have.
well in Toronto, but
I mean, he's not better than friend of the podcast, Olaf Kolzig. So
That's very true. Big fan of
Joe-
Foley the goalie.
So then, Joe, who's your top 3 favorite? Like not like best
Favorite. So not best,
Just-
favorite.
you had to ask
for-
her.
My
favorite,
boy
I'm
at
excited.
number 1, Cristobal Huet.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, he's number 1. My favorite goaltender of all time. Number 2. Again, not going to be a popular opinion. Razor Ray Emery. Absolutely loved Ray Emery.
Wow. Okay.
And my top 3
One
again,
more.
favorite. Again, probably not going to be a popular opinion, but Dwayne Rollison.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh, before you, I want to ask you too, but I know what your
Yeah.
number 1 is going to be, and I'm not, and I know you know that I know that it's fucking John Van Beesbrook, baby.
Love the Beezer.
He told you.
Love the Beezer.
All right. So who's 2 and 3?
So 2 is no question Nikolai Habibulin, like without question.
The Bulin Wall. All right.
I loved, so John Van Beesbrook, no question. Like number 1. Number 2 is like the Bulin Wall. God, number 3. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's just a name that's always stuck out is Archer Zerbe, man. Like what an
Arthur.
absolute unit that guy was.
All white setup in Carolina. Loved it.
All white setup using his kid's helmet from Austria. Like what are you talking about, man? That guy was an absolute beast for Carolina, but also I think he played for San Jose too. Like guy was just like nowhere near 6 foot, but was a great goalie in the 90s. Like,
You know what? Whenever we mention Carolina, honorable mention for me is Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Cam Ward.
Hab killer. Fucker.
Yeah, fuck him.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Who's your top three?
Fuck. I think I'm gonna go 3-1 because I don't know what my one's gonna be. So I mean, I'm not gonna say the same ones Josh had because like that's fucking lame. I'd be like, oh, I'm like my older brother. I like these guys.
You are.
Yeah, fuck off. So number 3, I'm gonna Dominic Hasek.
Okay.
The
Dominator.
Okay, number 2, Evgeny Nabokov.
Okay, Nabby.
Nabs.
Number 1. Fuck, that's tough, man. I'm gonna go because I love this guy's name so much, and he played like maybe 1 year in Montreal. Fucking David Abisher, baby.
Abishai.
Love that name.
Yikes.
Love that name. I mean, Chris Hue. I mean, and also to add to that, Compo messages this guy once a week to get him on the podcast.
Once a week. So if you're watching, Christo, please. I seen you're on Le Poche Bleu. And you know, I'd love to have you on. It would mean the world to me. Yeah, I'm gonna have a seizure.
Our lights fucking up right now.
I want to know what he saw in Game 7 from the blue line there. How he couldn't save that rocket of a shot against Carolina in Game 7.
Leave him alone. He's a saint. All right, Justin. I think I know your number 1.
Oh, you 100% know what my number 1 is.
It is Patrick Roy.
100%, hands down.
All right. So who's
probably the best goalie of all time?
All right. 2 and 3, Justin.
I'm a huge Javi Bulin fan too. Yeah, he was fun to watch. Number 3 is a tough one. I mean, I know he's still playing, but probably Fleury. I mean, the guy's unreal. The he's fun to watch.
Those yellow pads.
Fun guy. I mean,
love it.
He'd have to be my number 3.
Interesting.
What about the guy that we used to use 2 blockers? You ever seen that guy?
Yeah, not that guy.
Yeah, fucking 2 blockers. He lasted fucking 3 games in the NHL.
You know what? When I played goalie, I would have loved to rock 2 trappers, just constantly making double windmills.
No,
double windmills.
Hey, is
how many pucks are getting shot at you,
off
Joel?
ice, Josh? What are you drinking?
You want me to be honest, or?
Yeah, is it just lemonade? Or...
No, this is a Palm Bay on ice, bud.
Ooh, pineapple.
This is a key lime cherry.
Fuck, that's sexy. I like that.
Pour one out for Mr. Leahy.
Yeah,
happy birthday, John Dunsworth. R.I.P.
Gotta be Leahy.
Are you gonna do your shot?
I'm not. I smoked too much weed today.
Okay.
So
yeah, we had the Alberta Premium ready.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
You fucked up.
I can't drink.
Yeah, you fucked up, Randy.
That's his go-to, man. That's his drink. I will say though, Joe, too, growing up, the most exciting goaltender for me to watch was Jose Theodore. Because man, like being a Hab fan, that was a wild run, man. Like he was so good.
Yeah, big fan of Jose.
That beautiful hair.
Jose.
Yeah, I actually wore number 60 for a few seasons after he left. And then I switched to number 34 in honor of Mika Kiprasov.
Oh, that's an honorable mention too.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we have any other goalie questions? No.
No more goalie ones?
No more goalie questions. Josh, do you watch the podcast regularly?
I've watched a few episodes.
Watched a few episodes. All right. So I guess this question is more for Justin, myself, and Adam. But Joel P is asking for our 3 favorite guests. Justin, a little easier for you since you're not host of the show anymore to single out 3 people. A little tougher for Adam and I, who are still in the hot seat. Still riding the fame wave.
Can I say everybody?
I want to say everybody.
I played the fifth.
So Justin, we'll start with you.
Now, do you want to choose from when I was on the show or what I've watched?
How about you do 2 that you were on,
Okay.
and then 1 that you've watched. Is that fair?
Yeah. So number 1 that when I was on was probably Noodles.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, he was fun to he was chill, he was fun to talk to. Number 2, probably Jim Lang. Another like just cool
Langer
guy
was
to just
awesome, and we went
Yeah.
for a while with Langer.
we talked a lot. Yeah.
And you know what? He still texts me from time to time and is like, "Hey, watch this. Do this differently." I have a bad habit of right now crossing my arms or putting my hands in my pockets, and he's like, "Quit that."
Tell him when he's in town to come sign my book.
I can probably send it to him for you. I'll ask him.
Yeah,
So
Hey,
I
drive to Cornwall, sign my book, and go home.
Yeah. But does he not? He has family down here, no?
Yeah, he does actually. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
we gotta get our jersey signed soon.
Yeah, I'll send those out.
And the one that I've watched, probably
Yeah.
Jeremy Roenick.
Roenick, yeah, he was fun. He was unexpected.
Yeah.
In terms of we didn't know what we were getting, because like you see outspoken JR, and I was kind of nervous at first because our conversation leading up was a little murky.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
But I mean, he came on. He was an absolute beauty. I'd have him on in a heartbeat again. He was funny. He was candid. He was honest. And he was just JR through and through.
Yeah, he was the most honest,
Yeah,
like
it was
honest.
cool episode
guy.
to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin, I think we may have. Actually, we did. I won't say who it is, but we had a guy after a conversation asked if we could edit out a certain part. You remember we were talking about a coach.
Yeah.
He
I know
asked
who you're
to
talking
take that
about. I
part
knew
out.
right away.
So, JR had definitely a few moments that he was willing to throw some guys under the bus. And at the end, after recording, like, he wants to take that out. Fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, didn't care, which again was super cool because, we don't want to ruin anybody's careers or friendships or whatever, but cool that he just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Laddie, do you have?
I mean, I think I'll go. I'll go.
Okay.
Cabby for sure is probably one of my top 3 because I watched Cabby growing up. Like, it was pretty cool. Like, I have a lot of like, I think like honorable mention for one is Jay Onrait because I was a little older when I started watching TSN, so like that was still pretty cool. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Olaf Kolzig. Was a really good one. I liked that one a lot. He was a really nice dude, really cool. And then number 1, Gary Roberts for me because that was fucking bitching.
That was your solo show too.
My solo one, yeah. But it was a good one. I showed you out. Tough, eh?
It's just tough because there's so many that I liked for different reasons, and I could almost break it down into different categories. Like, special place in my heart, our first ever guest episode was Simon Salikas, just because that was our first one that, this guy that I listened to on the radio all the time gave us a shot to do a fucking podcast. He didn't have to do that. And that kind of started, the momentum going, hey, talk to this guy, talk to that guy. Oh yeah. So, special for that reason, and then we have some of the first players we talked to, like you mentioned, Justin, Jamie McClement, and then we had Olaf Kolzig and, Rob Schremp, just great back and forth for like 2 hours with Sean Starr. We mentioned Roenick's just uncandid honesty, or last week's episode with Tommy Chong, where I mean, we talked maybe like 10 minutes hockey, but the guy just so much wealth of wisdom and life chats that were just so fucking random. But the guy couldn't be more down to earth.
Yeah.
And to me, he's everybody knows Tommy Chong. So does that make him an A-list celebrity? Probably on some people's lists. On my list, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
He didn't have to come on. He didn't have to talk to two fucking randoms. And I think that's what it comes down to me is I'm just grateful for nobody has to do this. Nobody has been like, hey, give me this in return, or this is my fee. Like everybody that's coming onto the show has done it voluntarily out of the goodness of their hearts. And everybody, like, we haven't dealt with somebody that's a diva where they're like, get me Voss water.
Yeah.
Like,
well, we had one person ask for money.
We did, but he didn't come on the show.
No, I know.
So,
but
whatever. I'm just saying everybody that we've had on has been a class act, and I could probably pick an individual reason why each and every one of them would be my favorite. I'll answer this question. Person I'm most excited to have back on the show is Cabby.
Yeah.
Just because I'm either getting a fucking Leafs tattoo or we're going to the Jays game with Cabby.
Fucking A, baby. That benefits me both ways.
Both ways. Either way, we're taking a roadie to Toronto and we're meeting Cabby.
Yeah.
It's just whether it's going to be at a tattoo shop or at the Rogers Center.
I mean, if it's at the Rogers Center, that'd be wicked.
You know what? Either way, and I don't know if you're interested in this, I think I will book a tattoo session.
Mm-hmm.
And if Caulfield wins, I'll just get a Jays tattoo. You don't have to get that, but if you want to go tattoo route as well. Anyways, just that's a sidebar convo.
But you could sell me an empty bottle of water
right now.
Just the way you went with that story, you could have just been like, and that's why I sell empty water bottles. I've been like, 50-50.
Yeah. Yeah. I get verbal diarrhea, and like Justin said, Justin could have fucking went and took a dump right now and came back, and I would have still been talking. And there was actually, Justin, you could fucking say there's times when Justin and I were recording that episodes would run so long that we would actually have intermissions. We never had the intermissions, and we would edit down the episode what we wanted to keep in. But we had to take breaks so we can take a piss, get another fucking 2 bottles of water each.
Yeah.
Because I just talked so fucking much.
That's the way the road, bub.
True story.
Yeah. That's all right. It took me a couple weeks to get him to shut the fuck up, but we found a happy medium now.
Yeah.
There you go.
I still talk a lot.
Yeah. Another good guess was Martin St. Pierre too. That was a good one.
St. Pierre was, like I said, there hasn't I haven't had a bad guest or somebody where I'm like, I would not have this person back on, or I wouldn't recommend that person to anybody else doing a podcast, or recommend that person as a nice guy.
Yeah. Or the Rain Man of hockey, Liam McGuire.
Again, beauty. Everybody's been a beauty. Everybody's been nice, and there's a reason I can point out for each and every one of them for an argument to come back on the show, or a reason that they're in my top 3.
Yeah.
That being said, just to get Josh in on the conversation, who is one hypothetical, and let's keep this attainable, that you would like to see on the podcast that hasn't been on the podcast?
I mean, honestly, I'm down for Huet, no question, because watching him throughout the years, I have no problem there. Obviously, an unscripted Don Cherry would be money.
Oh my god, this time, oh my god, there's
like, that would be incredible. Also,
you
maybe
definitely get Joel to stop talking.
I don't fucking know, man. I think I'd give Donnie Boy a fucking run for his money. Remember, Donnie's like what, 85?
No, he's more. He's
higher.
He's closer to
pushing 90. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm just maybe louder, and I'd be like, listen, hey, whoa, listen. But as you noticed, before we got to our casting couch here, we had the table, and I always had my little Don Cherry bobblehead I have it looking at me right now. Thumbs up, Don. Okay, Laddie's a visual learner. And you know, I'd like to think I'm outspoken and I don't shut the fuck up. But I would say that Adam and Justin were both better than Ron McLean.
80. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, buddy.
No problem. And that has
89
nothing to do with how much I fucking hate Ron McLean.
89 years old. 89 years old, Don Cherry is.
Wow. You know what? One thing he does beat me in, but again, I'm bringing my own flair. Don has his suits. I have my Hawaiian shirts. Just put it out there, baby. Tommy Bahama, if you want to fucking sponsor, come at me. Slide into those DMs, baby. Don't be shy. Putting that out there in the universe. Whatever comes back, comes back. I'll settle for the George Walmart brand Hawaii shirts. If Wally Mart wants to give me a nice little, I'll model. I'll be a plus size model. Anyways, we'll move on. Next question.
Oh, fuck. That was great. That was a fucking tyrant.
Yeah. Almost like Chevy Chase after his speech in Christmas Vacation. Merry Christmas. Hallelujah. Holy shit. All right.
Wrong fucking.
Yeah, wrong fucking.
You want the questions?
Yeah,
here?
no, I got him.
You got him? All right.
All right. Just kind of see. We'll get back to some hockey stuff. This one is from my boy Ross B. Ross B is an absolute beauty, by the way. What do you think is on the Caps off-season checklist? I don't know if you boys read the questions I sent the group. Yeah, okay. So some people don't.
The
I read
Caps?
messages.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Caps.
the Caps. Do you have something, or do you want
I
me to go?
mean-
I can still go. I'm full of energy.
Oh, I know you're full of energy, so I can't say that I sit down and watch the Capitals gameplay. So, but I know they're still relevant. I'm assuming are they making the playoffs
No,
this year?
they're eliminated.
Okay, so goes to show how much I watch them. But you know, I think after the Stanley Cup win, it's just that was the big wave, and now it's just. I'm not saying they're going to be dog shit, but it's just like, you know, they're not like Pittsburgh. You know, Pittsburgh, since they won the Cup the first time, it's always been
Justin,
like.
what's the score of the Habs game right now?
So it was 3-1 Islanders last I checked.
Okay, so the Islanders win the night. Pittsburgh is eliminated for the first time in Sydney's career. No, sorry. For Sydney, for the first time since his rookie season. And this will be the first time in Evgeny Malkin's career that he does not make the playoffs.
So there you go. Like I
That's
think
what, 17 years?
Yeah, that's insane. That's a good stat.
Yeah.
I think the Capitals have a lot of holes to fill for next season.
Josh?
And what are their main guys? Like, what do those contracts look like? Like Backstrom, like Ovechkin. Like, you're not trading.
They're all still signed up.
Right. So it's like your options are limited at that point. You're not trading Ovechkin because you'd be the most hated GM ever in Washington if you did that. You're probably not even Backstrom. You're probably not getting rid of him because the age-wise, like, who wants to eat up that much money, right? And then
I mean, Ovi, Backstrom, Kuznetsov, John Carlson, and I'd say Darcy Kemper aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
I'm surprised they moved Dmitry Orlov. Maybe he comes back in the offseason, but
they got a first-round pick in that return, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're bringing guys in without trying to without getting rid of those to make the playoffs. I mean, I agree with what Adam said in the sense, like, they won the cup, and it's like, how relevant have you been since you've won the cup? Like, Chicago won the cup, but they stayed great for a couple of years. Pittsburgh won the cup, but it was like, okay, we're not done. Like, we're still gonna dummy teams. And the Capitals had that window where it was like President's Trophy, President's Trophy, President's Trophy. But then you met the Habs and you lost in Game 7 at home. Dominic Moore coming down the right side, right? Like, you won the league.
Hey, go!
Like, you dummied the league so much, but you didn't win a cup when you were dummying the league those years. Like, you won the President's Trophy, you were ranked first overall. Like, you just didn't win the cup. So then you won the cup, and it was like a huge relief. Like, you're just like, oh, okay, so this is what it takes. But at that point, Ovechkin had more gray in his beard than I did when he won their first cup, right? I'm
That's
not
crazy.
the
That's a
doors
lot of gray.
closed. It's like you're not going to get rid of those guys. You're going to have to find some other guys to bring in to like complement and make a run. But like I don't think that you're going to be tops in the league again. I just don't. And no one's going to take those contracts. No one's going to take those.
What's up, bud?
Your light on? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, buddy.
Okay.
I'm good.
JG, thoughts on the Caps off-season moves?
Not a team I follow very much, but just from what we've seen, we haven't when you think of teams of Pittsburgh and all these Chicago that stayed good for so long, it was their system, and I just don't think Washington has much in their system where they can bring up and not have to sign these big contracts to get guys to play those roles and fill those spots. I just don't. I mean, you guys forgot like Oshie, they could probably move. I mean, I wouldn't move Tom Wilson. He's not a guy.
He's still young. Young, maybe mid to late 20s.
I mean, I don't think they need much, but again,
No.
I don't think they can afford it. I don't think it's
Tom Wilson.
They'll be able to do much because they don't have much in the system to come up and fill these spots. A lot of these teams were able to do.
I mean,
when they
Hendricks
stayed good for so
will
long.
come up and be a decent player. There's a couple others, but 100% agree. They have another defenseman, Fairvey or something like that. He's pretty good as well. The only thing I can say is the owner, Ted Leonis, made a promise to Alexander Ovechkin when he re-signed his last contract. And he says, as long as you are on this team, I promise that the GM has to make the team competitive and go for the playoffs every year. So even though they didn't make the playoffs this year, they are not throwing in the towel and saying, well, we're just going to help Ovi get to the record and then rebuild. They promised him, whether it's 1 more year, 2 more years, whatever it takes for him to beat Gretzky, and then we all know he'll go to the K and play 1 year for Moscow.
Yeah.
He'll, they're going to try and remain competitive. Like Justin said, could they afford to move out of TJ Oshie with his money? Maybe send them to, that nice ranch in Arizona where they're housing all the misfits from the league. Maybe
in the college dorms.
Yeah, in the college dorms there at
yeah.
What is it? AFS?
ASU.
That's the Adult Fun Store in Ottawa. Sorry, Arizona State University. So ASU. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking
Fun Superstore. Shout out.
I'm looking at their team and they have they got some nice good names here, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Poo-poo.
Not a lot.
I'm not a Kemper fan. I don't think Kemper is a really good goalie.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was definitely a product of the environment in Colorado.
Oh, absolutely. Didn't have to do much.
I'd say he's like a 3 or 4 tier goalie out of maybe 6 tiers in the NHL. I'd say he's middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
He's not something special. I wouldn't pick him to build my team around. But I mean, he can play starter minutes and he's a little above average.
Don't worry, Charlie Lindgren's there to back them up.
Yeah,
don't worry.
And you know what?
Don't worry
he left
about
Montreal.
it.
You know what his fucking issue was in Montreal? He didn't have that fucking handlebar mustache. If he had that handlebar mustache, he'd still be at the Habs. Hot take. Thoughts on Charlie Lindgren's handlebar mustache before we move on?
Love it.
Fucking fire.
Yeah, I love it. I don't think that's the issue of why he couldn't stop pucks in Montreal.
No, 100%.
Beach balls. Let's put this clearly.
Buddy.
Beach balls.
Oh, it's probably because you need to play without the glove. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No handlebar mustache, Charlie Lindgren. That's little pee-pee. Little pee-pee. Handlebar, Charlie Lindgren. Big dick swinging in the room, baby. Nobody wants to shower at that guy.
Isn't he the second Habs prospect goalie to go to Washington?
Yeah.
Because Fucali went there.
Yeah, Zach Fucal is in.
Fucal, my bad.
No, it's okay.
My B.
He is with Hershey, but he actually just signed in the K.
No, cool, good for him.
Yeah, and he told us he'd be on in the summer. So, shout out to Zach.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So that's what the Caps off season looks like.
Follow quick question about the Caps. How many more years do you think it'll take Ovechkin to beat Gretzky's record?
2.
You think it's gonna be just 2?
How many back is he? Like, I don't really know how far back he is.
What did he put up this year? 40 or 50?
40. I think it's
40?
40.
He's what? I think maybe like 75 back. 2 more 40-goal seasons. Doable.
Yeah. No, there's no issue there.
I think he might even do like 45 next year, and then he can fuck off with a 35 and just mail it in.
Score a couple of.
So he needs 70. Yes, 72.
72.
He needs 72.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, lights out. Easy. 40
fine.
next year, 37 the next year. Suck a D. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Pack it in at the end of the year.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he'll hit 35 in February and say, see you later. LTIR.
Yeah, long-term IR.
Going to golf.
Yeah, I'm going on a binge.
Yeah. All right. This next question is from Sylvain Day, also known as Patat. Patat wants to know who should be the Vancouver Canucks' next captain. There are only 2 acceptable answers.
I'm gonna say.
Adam, you want to start?
I don't think they should name a captain in general until they figure their team out.
Well, they said next. He didn't say when. He didn't say next season. He just said the next.
I don't know. Are
you passing? Are you skipping? Are you skabooing us?
I'm not skabooing.
Are you
I
Unoing
mean, what
the
I'm
reverse?
it can be Patterson, but like,
So smell the answer.
James Patterson, the author.
no,
No?
no.
You mean Elias Pettersson?
Yes.
Okay.
Same
All
thing.
right. Sounds good.
Same thing.
Okay.
Whatever.
So Uno reverse to me, it's either Elias Pettersson or Quinn Hughes. Justin, disapproval shake. What do you got? JT Miller,
Honestly,
character and locker room guy.
I just don't. I think their next captain doesn't play for them yet.
Wow, interesting. That's a hot take.
Hot take. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't like Quinn Hughes doesn't play a complete enough game to be captain material.
Are you
I don't.
fucked?
I don't. He's not good at both ends. I'm not
fucked.
a huge Quinn Hughes fan. I'm really
You're
not.
fucked.
I don't think he's captain
I'm
material.
so confident that Quinn Hughes is going to be a lock player, Justin. We have a keeper hockey league. I'm going to keep Quinn Hughes just to prove you wrong.
I'm not saying he's a bad player.
Oh, you just did. You said he's not good at either ends of the ice. If you're not good,
No,
what are
not
you?
both ends of the ice. Like he's not. You can't tell me that Quinn Hughes is good in his own zone.
Well, fuck. Nobody on Vancouver is good in their own zone.
I don't think he's. I
Teacher
don't know.
gives you fucking white dog shit to
Captain
play
Bill's
with.
the guy who's the best locker room guy, and I don't. It's hard to say. I don't follow the Canucks enough. I don't watch their interviews and stuff, but I don't think that they've have their captain on their team yet.
All right, Josh,
Peterson, whatever the fuck his name is.
Elias,
See,
EP.
Elias. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right,
EP.
all right, Justin. All right. Okay, moving on.
Compo's not sleeping tonight, Buck. He's gonna be all fired up from that, Justin.
All right, there's a few more questions we got to get through. We'll go with this one from Ryan L., my plumber. Would Steven Stamkos be considered a future Hall of Famer considering accomplishments, even though he has a plethora of injuries?
100%.
Yes. No question.
The guy has 2 cups.
Gold medal.
The gold medal. He's won the Rocket Richard. He's put up with that god-awful third Tampa Bay jersey from this year with all the raindrops. That's fucking trash. That alone, he should be in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
100%.
There's no question. There's no question he is. He's
Justin, are you agreeing or are you shaking no?
Oh, I know. I 100% agree. He's a winner.
Okay.
He's
All right.
yeah. That's it. He's a winner. He's won cups. He's won trophies. He's won gold medals. Not that matters for the NHL, but he's a winner.
Yep.
Yeah.
As Rob Schneider would say, you can do it. All right. Okay, Cammy B here. Will Cole Caulfield score over or under
Love
40 goals next season? Start with
This is
Justin.
my favorite question out of all of them, actually.
He'll hit over 40.
He'll hit over 40.
What's your
100%.
guess?
What's your guess?
I say he'll 48. I'll say.
Subliminal messaging. All right, Josh, how many does Cole Caulfield get next year?
Like if you put the over under at 39.5, you would take that, like put your house on it. Like I think he scores 50.
You think, wow, 5-0.
Like if you
All right.
gave me 49.5, I would take it over. I would take the over all day.
Interesting. Laddie Jr.?
All
Yeah,
day.
I think so. I don't think he hits 50, but that's a hot take.
Okay, well, what's your number then?
I think he gets 46. Sorry, 46. Jesus.
46?
46. Well, actually, no. I've changed my answer to more goals than Mitch Marner because I want to go to fucking the Jays game with Cabby.
Well, that's not a number.
Please has to score like what, 35?
So 46. He scores more than 40. Yes, I think he gets Jackie Robinson 42.
Good number.
You're saying that's his highest total in his career, like ever?
No. I'm saying he's gonna get 42. Jackie Robinson wore number 42
Next year.
Yeah.
next year. Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying what is the highest he could score in his career? Like I
No,
thought
no,
this
no,
year.
no.
Okay.
No. I don't know
I'm
what
saying
his
next
I don't
year.
know what his highest would
Okay.
be 55 maybe on a good year.
I honestly think that he'll have more than 40 next year if he's healthy. I mean, there's just no way he doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point that power play will have to be number 2 behind the Edmonton Oilers, and it'll go through Suzuki and Caulfield, right? Just like the Oilers go through
Caulfield, Doc.
Yeah.
You'll eventually have
Chris Weidman.
fuck off. Hayden
Oh,
Gooley.
Yeah, get Weidman in the lineup. Get Wisey out there.
And I don't know who else, who the fourth one is.
Come on, get
Maybe,
Weidman out there.
No, he's gone.
Put number 6 out there.
Maybe Uri Slafkovsky or
Weidman or
Roy.
Kulak? Come on, Weidman or Kulak?
Yeah.
Kulak's in Edmonton, and he's playing.
He's fucking trash.
He played poo-poo in Montreal for his fucking...
You know what? He didn't play bad, considering he was just always put with a random.
I mean, so poo-poo. Fucking Brett.
Ooh, another Ross B. With Makar out indefinitely, what does the Avs postseason look like?
Was he out indefinitely? I thought it was like week to week.
Well, without
Day to day, actually, now.
Day to day. That's still out indefinitely. Look
Yeah.
at how many fucking Montreal guys this year that were out day to day, and we didn't see him for 4 months.
Sean Monahan.
Sean Monahan, fucking Brendan Gallagher, David Savard. Whatever.
I think he'll be back for the playoffs no matter what.
I think so too.
Yeah. Okay. So the
Whether
old
he's healthy or not.
Kucherov move.
Yeah.
Classic.
I don't think they need it. I mean, Landy's out too, so I don't think it matters.
Yeah, but he's also the Kucherov. He's practicing. He's back practicing. What about you, Josh?
Who's their first round opponent?
Great question.
That is a great
Seattle. I think it'll be Seattle.
question. Oh, Justin Seattle Kraken.
You'll probably get through there. I mean, if you don't have Makar for Edmonton, I think you're in trouble.
I think they'd only match up with Edmonton in the conference finals, the way the bracket will work out.
So I mean, Seattle, you're not overly worried about Seattle, but I mean,
And
they
what
won
would be
last year?
second round? Potentially what? Minnesota?
It'd be Minnesota and whoever's in their conference
Not
or the division
Nashville.
there.
Dallas?
Yeah.
Maybe Dallas?
Yeah, it'd be Dallas. Is it
Wow.
Minnesota Dallas
Yeah, that'd be
first
tough.
round?
I
think
like
so.
Dallas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Minnesota Dallas.
Yeah.
Would be a second round.
Yeah.
You
You can probably get the first 2 rounds through without Cale Makar, but
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat, probably pulling the old Kucherov salary cap manipulation that the NHL is really looking out for.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even though Boston just did it with fucking Taylor Hall and Nick Foligno, but hey, what can you do?
Hey, Lena's still struggling from male pattern baldness. So
Yeah,
that's
that was big nose syndrome.
yeah. Yeah. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
They'll be fine. Oof, fuck. We should have got this one out of the way. With Graham B asks, with the Bruins' historical season, do you see them going far in the playoffs? And can you see them repeating next year? Repeat, no chance. This is a
one and done.
Well, not necessarily a one and done, but the guys on that squad are getting older.
Yeah.
But this is a magical season. It's tough to repeat no matter who you are.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. This guy just fucking shit. Go wipe your ass. Fuck you. We got the heater going on down here too. Just cooking.
That's terrible. That is terrible. Also, Hallmark. I mean, I'm sorry, but could that guy repeat it? Not a chance, man. This guy's just a guy. Just a guy. There's just no way. He's not a. He's just not a. He's not a guy. He's a guy. He's not the guy. There's no way they repeat. Not a chance. No way.
Swayman will be their number one.
Yeah.
So Justin is also a no on the repeat. How far do you think you guys are going? They go this year?
If you all the way.
Well, definitely conference finals. I mean, they're not losing to Toronto or Tampa.
You don't think so?
No. I mean, there's a lot of experience on that team, and I don't know.
But you know what, though? Tampa is always a playoff team.
Yeah.
They are, but so is Boston. I mean, look at the experience on that team.
I don't know. I could see Tampa upsetting Boston in the second round. Because who does Boston play? They would play the Islanders if the Islanders win the night?
They'll play the Islanders since it looks like they're going to win. So, yeah.
So they'll play the Islanders. That should be a cakewalk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see Tampa upsetting in the second round. But even at that,
that's
you
if
make
they
the
lose to
conference
Toronto. I think
finals
Toronto will beat Tampa.
Pardon?
I think Toronto will beat Tampa in the first round.
Really?
I do.
Oh. Hot take.
I mean, I don't want them to win, but I think they will.
I don't think so.
I think so. I think so too.
Leafs lose 4-1.
Not even giving much of a chance, Angel.
Jesus.
4-1.
Wow.
But no, I don't see Boston going to the Cup final. To be honest, I think
I don't think the Cup final.
I think the Cup team is if it's coming out of the what is it now? Is it Northeastern or is it the Atlantic? What are we?
Atlantic would be us, I think, and then Metro is the other one.
Okay, yeah. So the Atlantic would be Tampa. If I'm picking right now, if I'm a betting man, and out of the other division, give me the New York Rangers. I think they're going to turn it on. So I think it's Tampa or the Rangers going to the Cup final in the East.
Okay.
We'll see. I've been wrong many times before. Multiple times today. Oh, a nice conspiracy question.
Oh, fuck, I read this one.
This one's from my boy, Will B. Will wants to know, do you think the draft is rigged? And I'm not sure if I asked this when you were on as my co-host, or if it was you, Justin. I asked this to, and I don't remember who it was to.
It's Craig Button.
Yes, it was. And he told me pretty much you're fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So
well, he has to say that.
No, he doesn't.
He'd been singing in an airport for 8 hours and he was fired up. So I'm pretty sure he would have went off the rails that day.
Yeah, he does. Just because I don't want to get torn a new one or messaged or a text from Craig and him be like, I fucking told you it's not rigged. Don't fucking say that again. I will say it isn't, but I can see a case on why people think it is.
Yeah. I mean,
Does anybody just to keep it in the interest of time management here? Does anybody think it is rigged?
I think to an extent, yeah.
What
mean-
what is your extent? What is your line of rigged,
I mean,
not
it's
rigged?
you got to look like as a business point of view, you have to put these star players in certain organizations to get the money in those organizations. So to an extent, the ones they're just struggling as teams that they may send these big name players to or try to. So I don't think they pick who, but I think they narrow it down who they think those
So
lottery
almost
picks
like
will
they
go
would do a
to.
lottery draft, is what you're
What's
saying.
that?
So you're saying they would do some sort of lottery draft?
Kind of, I guess, but like they would instead of like
That's
I think
weird. They
the
should put that in
percentages are
place.
bullshit. I don't think
Uh,
I think in reality it'll be the bottom 4 teams. Like and then they would pick who they think would, and then they do their lottery. You know what I mean? So like let's just say like who's last? Chicago, is it Columbus that's last?
no fucking no.
Let's just say
Not much.
let's say
Yeah, I know
Chicago's
it's
second
Columbus.
last
It's Columbus. I think Chicago, San Jose,
in San Jose,
Montreal.
right?
Yeah.
So let's just say, just for argument's sake, they want San Jose to get the pick. Well, I think they'll narrow down to those 4 teams, and they may, even though Columbus is last, they may give San Jose the higher percentage.
But so they're still advertising Chicago at whatever it is, 13.5, 14, but they're actually giving the 13.5 or
exactly
14 to San Jose.
I think so. I think they play with it a little bit, but they don't up and choose who gets the.
Wow.
They try to like swing it a little bit.
That's some
if that
fucking
makes sense.
Matrix stuff, man. Are
Yeah.
you taking the red or the blue pill?
Yeah. Well, trying to make us take out our fucking tinfoil hats.
Yeah.
Everybody take out their hats.
All right, Josh. Since
anything's possible.
anything is possible, but as my clinical therapist said, not everything is probable. Anything is possible, but not
Sure.
everything is probable. It's a shout out to you. I forget your name. You did wonders.
I mean, what if Montreal finishes bottom 5? What are the chances they get the first overall pick?
Betsy?
Could happen.
The same odds that Gary Bettman gets pregnant.
Right?
But I mean,
Now, what happens if
0?
Montreal had finished dead last this year? Okay, and had the highest percentage to get the first overall pick. What do you think they would they have gotten it?
no.
Probably not.
The
No.
odds are about the same as Bill Daly growing a mullet.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
not.
Not happening.
He's bald as fuck, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and what happened to the days where like they had like the lottery? Did they not ever have like the lottery draft where they did it live on TV where there was a bunch of balls in there and they just grabbed it? Right?
They show the
Did they not do that, or
recording
has it always
afterwards.
been like a card? Okay.
But again, that could have been take 50 of,
Exactly.
I don't know. All right, so second part of this question is who do you think gets first overall? I know who I hope it is. I hope it's Chicago.
I think it's Chicago.
Mhm. Yeah.
Just because who have you ever heard in your life say, I hope I go to Columbus, Ohio?
Johnny
Nobody.
Gaudreau.
Johnny Gaudreau.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Johnny Gaudreau is fucked. Just think about it. Zombieland. They're trying to get away from Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
Columbus is kind of like a Zombieland in real life. Nobody fucking wants to be there. Ever.
No. Hate the Browns.
Yep. San Jose got fucking nothing going on. They moved Timo Meyer. They're going to try and move Eric Carlson.
Yeah.
Connor Bedard's going to say, fuck that real quick. If I was him, I'd be calling Eric Lindros for some tips.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, to me, Chicago, you're still might have a, some fucking decent guys still there, like young guys. I mean, they just re-signed Jared Tenorti. That's huge.
Fuck.
I don't know. Out of all those arenas, though, you want to go play at the United Center at the Madhouse on Madison, historic franchise. If you had to
Original
pick,
6.
to pick from those bottom 3, biasly, I don't know, probably Montreal. But no, realistically, I'd like him to end up in Chicago if it can't be Montreal.
Yeah.
Anybody
sure.
say
All right, Joe, I got a
otherwise?
draft question for you.
Pardon?
I got a draft question for you.
All right, it's not really how this game works, but go ahead.
If you were Montreal, would you trade your 3 first rounds for Bedard?
So they don't. So sorry. So they, let's say it falls 1, 2, 3. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. Yes. It doesn't matter, actually. Yes. It doesn't matter if you're picking 2nd, 6th, and 10th. You take Connor Bedard.
That's the 100%.
Do you not?
I 100%. I would have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just
I
want to
100%
make sure. Okay.
Yeah. With some, well, as a Habs fan, we need a franchise player like that. So, hands down.
Yeah. And last question of the soiree. You okay there, Josh?
Yeah, it's burping.
Okay, attaboy. Better out than in, Shrek always says.
Yeah.
Comes from probably one of my favorite people on this earth, Tommy M. Tommy is just a fucking straight shooter. He says, why no fighting be erased from hockey? Knowing Thomas, he fucking hates snowflakes. So this is kind of a backwards question. So he's pretty much calling the league soft right now. Just wanted to clarify that for those of you that don't know my boy Tommy B. Tommy M. I don't know who the fuck Tommy
Who
B
the fuck's
is.
Tommy B?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Tommy M.
fucking
Tommy M.
Tommy Bean, bud.
So Tommy M.
It'll never go away from the game.
It'll never go away from the game. I don't think we'll ever see staged fighting again, which is a shame. I just wish that it would get a little tougher than now. When I was talking to Robbie Schremp a few weeks ago, we kind of talked that the league just seems soft. Rivalry seems soft. There needs to be some give. And I think that give comes with getting rid of George, knocked himself out on the ice, Peros from
Tom Selleck looking motherfucker.
Yeah, from his position as league disciplinarian. Because there's zero consistency and it's a different rule book depending who you are. There needs to be somebody in, and we almost need to hire somebody that doesn't know hockey and doesn't have an opinion, because there's just so much inconsistency. Oh, this guy did this. This guy also did this. Well, this guy's name is Brad Marchand and puts up points, and this guy is this scrub from the AHL trying to make it.
Yeah.
Well, the scrub gets 6 games. Marchand gets a $5,000 fine.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of gray, and it just needs to go away. And I think if everybody knew what they were playing and how things were going to be called, you would see a rougher game. You'd see a more in-your-face game, because at least you know what you're getting away with. And if you're doing something, you're not thinking twice instinctively about, fuck, is this a 4-game suspension or is this like a double minor?
Yeah.
Just my take, but fuck, what do I know?
Yeah.
Anybody have anything else to add, or is this?
I mean,
I think a lot has to do with that instigator penalty and why it's going down.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time, it has to do with the players that are playing. Like, how many like guys out there are actual fighters? Like, how many, like, when you think about, like, you pick any team, like, how many guys on that team will actually drop the gloves? So, yeah. I mean, yes, the league's playing a big part, but the game is changing, and there's just not a lot of those guys who are willing to drop the gloves. And that's why I think there's less fighting.
Another thing too, it's like Pizzetta said it right. He goes, I think it was the game. I think he was talking about the game where I can't remember how much I was playing, and somebody hit Nick Suzuki, clean hit, nothing wrong with the hit, but Pizzetta got on the ice and he said, "Hey, bud, we're fucking going." Like, he's like, you really don't have a choice. Like, he's like, clean hit, but you hit my captain, we're fucking
Yeah.
going. Like, to me, that shouldn't leave the game. That should never leave the game, but it is. Like Justin said, like it is.
But like Justin pointed out, like you said, just the type of player.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody is hitting anymore.
No.
Not everybody is going to the corners, going to the front of the net.
Bunch of poke check princesses going in the corner like this.
So like it's tough to not be that way. You hit my captain. Well, your captain gets 40 hits a season.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But to me, it's a shame because you have guys still in the league like Pizzetta, Brendan Gallagher, Brady Kachuk, Matt Kachuk, Arbor Jackeye, Jordy Ben, Tyler Myers,
big guys.
Matt, what's his name there? Went from Ottawa to Nashville. Matt or Mark Borowicki.
Yeah.
Whatever, Borowicki, whatever. No teeth in Nashville. Nick Delorier, like Ryan Reeves is still playing.
Wilson.
Tommy Wilson. There's a handful of them still left playing.
Yeah.
That old style hockey, and it's so fun to watch. But the Battle of Alberta isn't really a battle; it's a slap fight of Alberta now.
Yeah.
It's not the big bad Bruins versus the Habs anymore. It's a skill game more than it is a physical game, and it sucks because physicality is still part of the game, and it's just not being utilized.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of ruined the game a little. Not ruined it, but it's just not like, every time I go watch a game live, I hope to see a fight. I want to get into the game as a fan. Like, I want to get riled up. Like, who doesn't, and it's just the league is preventing a lot of that with those instigator penalties and all these little rules that they keep adding every year.
The linesmen fucking jump in.
Yeah.
Before the fights, even before the gloves. Yeah.
And it's not even, it's the people at live games, like Justin said, you want to see scraps, bud. Like, I've been to 3 Ottawa games. As soon as there's a scrap in front of the net, the fans are already standing like, yeah, we want to see a fight. Let's go. Come on. Right. A good, clean fight, not like a sucker punch, or like a Marty McSorley versus, Brashear. Like, we don't want to see that.
Yeah.
But we want to see, like, go toe to toe, a couple of pushes and shoves. Are we going? Yeah, we're going. Okay, we got a date. And then you go for a nice Tilly. Yeah, that's the stuff you love to see, right? And then they both go down to the ground. Everybody's clapping, and then it's the people.
No matter who wins or loses, the crowd's in it.
Yeah,
the people on the internet is just like, oh my God, did you watch that game last night? Like, 2 guys going at it, bare knuckles, don't like it, can't stand it. Someone's gonna get hurt. Dude, we've been doing this for over 100 years. Like,
they literally just started wearing helmets like 30 years ago, bitch.
Right? They weren't like. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Like, you're not going to go to a game when there's a fight and there's going to be people sitting on their seats with their arms crossed, saying, "We don't want to watch this," regardless of the score. It just doesn't happen. Everybody loves that shit.
So the second part of this question comes from our lovely marketing manager, Adam's wife,
yes,
Alex, and she wanted to know. So I asked you guys earlier to think of your favorite fighter in the show, and it can be of any era. It doesn't have to be current, but has to be an NHL fighter. And we are going to do kind of a tournament, and it's single knockout elimination. So 2 single rounds and then the finals. And I'm gonna tap my randomizer here to spin to see who's going against who. So the first contestant is me.
Man.
Lovely. And I will be going up. Fuck off. I'll be going up against son of a bitch. Me again. Hide. Okay, I removed myself. This won't happen again, I promise. So it's me and Justin against the 2 Laderoute brothers. So Laderoute brothers, you guys are picked last. You guys want to go first or second?
Sorry, what?
You guys pick first.
We'll go first.
Yeah.
Okay. So Justin, since I spun, just in fairness, who is your fighter? And if it's somebody that any of us have, we have to switch out. This person can only be named once.
Oh, which should have went first?
All-time fighter.
I just wanted to see where these guys go with it.
I'm gonna go Tiger Williams.
How fucking
Dave
old
Tiger
are you?
Williams.
All right, Tiger Williams. I am going to go with Big Z Zdeno Chara.
Could we consider him a fighter though?
No,
100%.
I don't even know. Not really.
100% he's a fighter.
He's
like-
the ragdoll queen, but he didn't have to throw a punch.
Yeah, but like, it's not the fact that I'm not like he's a fucking machine, but like a fighter to me is like fourth line. You fucking slap him on the ass, get out there, fucking just beat the piss out of this guy and get off for the rest of the game.
So how many career fights do you need to be considered a fighter?
Oh fuck. 10?
9.5.
No, for a career fighter. How many times do you have to fight in your career to be considered a fighter?
I said 9.5, so over 9.5.
He has 30 with the Bruins, 26 with the Senators, and 18 with the Islanders.
Okay.
1 second. I'm just making sure. He also has 2 fights with the Caps. So he has 20, 46, 76
right.
career fights.
We'll consider that a fighter.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't think he fought that much.
At 6'9", 250, I don't think it mattered who he was fighting.
Yeah.
He had the reach advantage. He had the height advantage. Nobody was hitting him on the button.
No.
Just hold you away from this and just fucking short chat. I remember, who the fuck did he fight? He was still with Ottawa.
Brian McCabe.
Brian McCabe.
Yeah.
When he threw him around.
Did he threw him around?
Just picked him up.
Yeah.
But what's the
Brian
case? I
dropping.
thought it was the playoffs.
Yeah, Toronto and Ottawa played against each other like in the playoffs all the time.
Right, with the old format.
Yeah.
Tommy
Well-
Barassa for Ottawa versus Eddie Belfour for Toronto. Sergei Berezin.
I thought it was the year the Sens went to the Cup final in 06. And I'm pretty sure they played Tampa first round, and he just dropped the gloves with somebody so tiny and he fucking ragdolled him. But anyways, you and Josh have to come up with a consensus who the better fighter is between Chara and Tiger Williams. Justin, I made a case for Zdeno. Do you want to make a case for Tiger?
246 fights. Most fights ever by anybody.
Damn.
That's it.
Yeah, okay, but most fights. I mean, George Peros had a lot of fights. He knocked himself out.
Yeah, we don't get the
sorry to
nickname
reuse,
Tiger for no
you know,
reason.
Just stomp him while he's down.
No,
yeah.
I'm just saying, career fights. What makes him a great fighter? What was his stature? What are his like? We already know Zdeno Chara's manhandling people. Is Tiger Williams manhandling people?
Obviously, I mean he's older. He's obviously a different era, but when fighting was a lot bigger, I guess. But absolutely, I mean the guy had like 3,900 penalty minutes. Like he was a straight up goon. He was
Okay,
just,
so like,
just a monster out there.
Too.
yeah, well,
Holy fuck. Was he ever fucking ugly?
yeah, his parents are definitely first cousins. That's for
Holy
sure.
fuck, Batman.
Yeah,
How big- how
the
big-
cloth, his
Yeah,
eyes
how fucking
aren't even on the same, like even this
Oh,
straight line.
yeah.
But they're also on the side of his head.
He was fucking
Oof.
5'11", 190. I think your
God.
case is. I think Judge Judy said it's definitely fucking Zdeno Chara.
You're voting Zdeno.
Yeah.
Josh, who are you voting?
The reach is tough to beat, man.
You should see this guy's fucking hairdo though. Holy.
I don't
Wow.
like that.
All right, so we're moving on. Laderoute versus Laderoute. We'll let the guest pick first. So who do you have for us, Josh?
I'm going Bobby Probert.
Okay.
I am going with Derek the Boogeyman Bugard.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Honorable mention to Rick, R.I.P. Rippin.
Yeah.
Love Rick Rippin.
Yeah.
But I just thought Chara would be hard to
Yeah.
So you guys want to make a fun
I
face?
mean, well, fucking, he broke how many fucking helmets trying to punch guys in the head and just kept fucking swinging.
yeah.
Derek Boogaard was on the ice and for one thing and one thing only, and it was to fucking smash your face in. Fucking great fights, you know. Like you look at his record, fought Wade Belak, fought. I mean, I can go through the names that he's fought.
You don't have to. I think you get the
No.
point. He played recently enough. I think everybody remembers Eric Boogaard fighting.
Yeah.
Josh, you want to make a case for Monsieur Probaya?
Oh, he just, I mean, if you ever watch old Rock'em Sock'em videos, man, like he just eats them. Like just eats them and then obviously unloads too. But obviously on one of those big big, dynasty in Detroit there for a bit, but had some goals. But yeah, man, like just you watch him, like there was just no like defending or moving. It was like just eat, and then unload. Like especially against Ty Domi, obviously is a main one of his main rivals, right? Just those fights are just so entertaining, man. Like just you got to be able to take one or two and laugh it off, and then just unload.
Josh,
and he was a beast. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
Big man.
Filled with cocaine.
That was unnecessary. Justin, do you have your vote? Fine. Do you know who you're voting for?
Yeah.
And who are you voting for?
I'm gonna go Probert. Going with Josh's
Josh pick. Just fucking disappeared. I am also voting for Probert, just because probably the craziest fighter I ever seen in Paddlard told me he was scared shitless to fight a guy just because he had fought Probert.
Wow.
So if you have a grown man who made his hockey career about fighting, shitting his pants to fight somebody else just because he fought Bob Probert, I think it says all you need to say. But does Adam win by default because Josh left? I don't know.
Probably just fucking rocking a piss or something.
Terrible time to leave.
Yeah, I know. Right at the end, I know. I want to get the fuck out of here because it's past my bedtime.
Yeah. So I guess we'll wrap it up. We don't necessarily need Josh here. So is Bob Probert's craziness to just eat punches and hand out punches enough to beat Zdeno Chara's reach and size?
I think if they stand still and fought, yes, because like Chara was known for throwing guys around. I think if they sat there and fucking eat it in the pocket, I think Probert gets the.
I think Probert would have the edge too.
All right. Well, congratulations, Josh Laddie Sr. for coming away with that Tournament of Champions.
Bobby
Probert. So the toughest guy out of our four picks is Bob Probert. Well, gents,
just watch Rock'em Sock'em videos, man.
Yeah, I have a few on DVD. And that's
plug in the VHS.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So yeah, go back to the VHS days because that's where he was. Where
I don't have any of the VHSs, but I definitely have a couple with a cherry on the cover with a black muscle shirt holding an octopi with his hat backwards,
the black sunglasses on.
Oh yeah,
ready to fuck.
Yeah, that guy laid pipe for sure.
Of course he did.
For sure.
Oh, fuck.
All right. Well, I thank you both for coming on. I'd love to have you guys back on again. And you know what we should do is once we know the draft order, we'll do a little challenge of some sort, even if it's just like a mini fun 25-minute, 30-minute episode of our top 10 draft picks for this year. And just like March Madness, whoever lands the most gets to decide a punishment for the three losers. Kind of like an Impractical Jokers or Kenny versus Spenny thing. I won't make you boys get some tattoos. I won't do that unless you want to. Doesn't sound like anybody wants to.
No.
No, I'll pass on that one.
We can do something else. We can figure. Yeah, it's time for you to go home. Fucking Bubs needs a diaper change, and so do you. Fuck. Yeah, okay, we're done. We're leaving. It's fucking end of the episode.
It's the A&W we had, Brass. My
Yeah,
bad.
no, I don't smell like that.
You pulled string before episode.
All right. Thank you guys for coming on. It was fun.
Yeah, appreciate it, boys.
Yeah, and next week we have a sweet guest coming on.
Yeah.
Make sure you tune in.
You're not gonna tell us?
No. Gotta
Okay.
tune in.
Yeah, tune in.
Follow us
next
on socials.
Yeah.
Twitter at Average Jocks.
Podcast.
No,
No?
who's too long. Average
Okay.
Jocks Pod, I think.
I don't know. I just run it.
And then everything else is Average Jocks Podcast.
Facebook, Instagram.
Oh, thanks
TikTok.
for letting me know. I didn't know, Joel.
Well, I don't think you follow us actually.
Yeah.
I think you
On what?
unfollowed. I think you unfollowed once you stepped down.
Fuck.
Yeah, and if you don't follow us, some pretty sweet content.
Well, fuck you. No, I'm just joking. Can't go follow us.
That's fucking aggressive. All right, so that's a wrap.